Hey there, beautiful people. It's Dina bringing another daily dose. So today I want to talk to you about something that is a little more of a challenge for me to talk about, only because it's something that I struggle with, and I've struggled with my whole life. But everything that I bring on this channel is to encourage, equip, and empower somebody to move past a difficult thing that they might be dealing with. And if you can learn from my mistakes, then this is worth doing all of this. So this morning I was getting ready, and a lot of times as I'm getting ready, I am looking in the mirror, and this is when God gives me the content for this channel or just downloads something to me that I might have to work through. But this morning I was just thinking about, as we were getting ready, all the things that women have to do to make themselves look presentable that men don't have to do. And it's not that we have to do it. There's nobody that says we have to do it, but we live in a world that is obsessed with appearance, whether that's the way you look physically, whether it's your body. So this specifically is about body image. And this is something that I've struggled with most of my life. When I was a kid, I was just like every other kid. I had a growth spurt, younger, I would say, than most kids. So I wasn't heavy when I was younger, but I was tall. I was probably almost the same height that I am now as an adult. As a kid, I was tall. So people looked at me like I was big. My friends would tease me and call me giant. Actually, they would call me Bigfoot because I was Italian. I am Italian, and I had a lot of hair, facial hair, body hair, that kind of thing. So I was tall and hairy, and I was called Bigfoot. It hurt and crushed my spirit when I was younger. I always acted like it didn't bother me, but it did. But then as the weight came on, then I would be criticized for that. Kids can be cruel. I know as an adult, people don't necessarily come to your face and tell you that you're ugly or fat. I think we do online. I see a lot of that online, which just breaks my heart because that's not how God created us. But I really was thinking about my journey with that. And this is something that I want to make sure that I share on this channel. This is something that I hid for so long. But I really feel like God has given me the ability now to be able to share vulnerably with you what I've struggled with my weight up and down, because I do think other people can benefit from that, especially in the world of special needs moms or moms going through an extreme parenting situation. One of the biggest issues that we struggle with is not taking care of ourselves. Or living in a high stress state, which causes high cortisol, high insulin, which ends up getting stored as fat. So there's lots of reasons why somebody might have excess weight. It could be a hormonal issue. It's not always calories in, calories out. I do believe that there is a science to that, but that's not all it is. And it's not always just somebody sitting there eating junk food and not moving enough. There's so many misconceptions why somebody might be carrying extra weight. What I have learned over the years is I have struggled to try to figure out the good combination or the right combination for me to regain my health, is that a lot of it has to do with undoing the damage that has been done from years and years of chronic stress and years of sleep deprivation and years of honestly not taking care of myself and probably not eating enough protein, eating too many carbs, whatever that is. But that's not really what this video is about today. This is about the image that came out of that I created an image in my head based on what the world standards were of beauty. Because I don't match that in my body, then I automatically assume that I don't fit in. I don't qualify for the world's view of beauty, especially now when we are inundated with influencers and, videos, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you name it. There's people out there that are showing you beauty secrets and showing you how to contour your face. Lord have mercy, those videos just drive me crazy. It's so much. It's so extra. I don't have to do all this. Why do I have to do all this? Why do I have to put all this makeup on? And I don't. Again, I'm not saying that I have to do that. But there's something about if I don't, then I'm going to expose myself. And that's what I'm trying to work through. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. To be able to put yourself out there and just be raw, unfiltered, is something that has to come from within you. So there's a lot of people out there doing that. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there that are just literally unfiltered. There's people out there that are, I would say, extremely overweight, and they're kind of flaunting that. And I don't think that's a really good image either. I'm not one of those people that thinks that you should just be whatever size you want and just flaunt it and just own it. I do believe that we should be healthy. I do believe that we should set a good example for young people, especially young girls who are trying to meet some sort of image. I don't think that we should body shame in any way. But I also don't think that it's okay for us to just get to any size that we want and think that we're going to be healthy. There is health consequences to that. So that's not what I'm saying. I don't think that we should just be one way or the other. It's what you view that to be. Everything that I talk about is what our mindset is, what our belief system is, what is in the way of being able to be free in that. So if those people that are really heavy are free in themselves and they feel, I want to say, good in their skin and they're okay with that, then more power to them. I'm not okay with that. I'm always going to want to try to improve and be better at that. But I also want to improve my mindset about that. If I'm getting ready to go on this business trip and I'm sitting here thinking, like, what am I going to wear? What am I going to bring? And women tend to be way high maintenance when it comes to that kind of stuff because you got to have all the outfits that match and the shoes and the jewelry and everything else. We're going to be in public and we're going to be interviewed and all of that. So we want to try to look nice. I think men probably just throw a suit in the bag and they just get up, take a shower, comb their hair, and they're ready to go. Women seem to have a whole lot more stuff that they have to do that comes with that. So I was just thinking about that. And then I was thinking about, here I am going to something else again, where I am going to be filmed or recorded, and I don't like the way my body looks. And something shifted in me. In that moment, I realized that everything that I have been doing has been trying to get the attention of the world or man instead of God. Like, I'm doing this for this event. I'm losing weight for this event. I'm doing this because I'm going to this family function and I don't want people to think I've gained weight, whatever that is. And again, I'm trying to be very vulnerable with you, and I hope that there's somebody out there that this resonates with or that they can understand where I'm coming from this. But it's been a vicious cycle most of my life. Honestly, I just want to be healthy. I don't want to do it for an event or do it for a person or do it because I'm going to be on a video or do it because someone's going to see me that hasn't seen me in a long time. I just want to be healthy in my body. I want to feel okay in my skin, regardless how large that skin is. So I was looking at scripture because that's where I go when I'm trying to find the answer to why, God, have I been like this my whole life? Why has it been such a big deal for my self-image? Why couldn't I just accept myself the way I am? Why do I always have to strive? Because I think part of the reason I think women especially get to this body shaming, get to this where you're struggling with your weight up and down is because we spend so much time trying to fix the body that we actually break the body. We're spending so much time in diets that are up and down, up and down. So you gain weight, you lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, and then your hormones are wreaking havoc with your body. So now at my age, where it's a lot harder to get this off. And I'm really struggling, not so much to lose weight. I do need that. That's one of my main goals, but it's to be healthy so that I can live long, so that I can be strong enough to keep doing what God has called me to do. So anyway, here's the scriptures that I found. I didn't find a lot about weight, but what I did find is about self-image. So here's the most important one. This is in Genesis 1:27. This is in the Amplified version. It says, so God created man in his own image. In the image and likeness of God, he created him, male, female, and he created them. This is what it says in the Passion Translation. So God created man and women and shaped them with his image inside them. In his own beautiful image, he created his masterpiece. Yes, male and female, he created them. We are God's masterpiece. On Psalm 139:13 through, I think it's 16, this is the Passion Translation. You formed my innermost being, shaping my delicate insides and my intricate outside. The intricate outside. I think that's awesome. And wove them together in my mother's womb. I thank you, God, for making me so mysteriously complex. Everything you do is marvelously breathtaking. It simply amazes me to think about it, how thoroughly you know me, Lord. You even formed every bone in my body when you created me in the secret place. Carefully, skillfully, you shaped me from nothing to something. You saw who you created me to be before I became me, before I'd ever seen the light of day. The number of days you planned for me were already recorded in your book. Every single moment, you are thinking of me. Every single moment, he thinks of us. How precious and wonderful to consider that you cherish me constantly in every thought. He cherishes us in his every thought. I don't even think of anybody every single second of the day. Like, this is amazing. God, your desire towards me are more than the grains of sand on every shore. When I awake each morning, you are still with me. This should just breathe life into your spirit. God took so much care in creating us. Why would we want to hate this? Why would we want to try to fix it and make it into something that is not what he created us to be? And then in 1 Samuel 16 through, it says, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not look on his appearance or on the height or his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. God is more concerned about our heart than our outward appearance. If your heart is ugly, honestly, it doesn't matter how beautiful or thin you are on the outside. It's man that looks at the outside, not God. And so I found myself guilty of that too. Honestly, I can look at somebody and make a judgment against that person. But I also can see somebody who is overweight, and what I see behind that is I see pain, I see rejection, I see neglect, I see somebody who, how do I want to say this without offending? Because I'm just speaking from my own self. I see somebody that doesn't know who they truly are, that doesn't understand who God created them to be. And I don't mean that in any negative way at all. What I'm saying is that when we truly understand who we are and we truly accept that God has created us in his image, then we will do everything we can to take care of that, to be kind to our bodies, to take care of that, to be physically fit, to be emotionally strong, to be spiritually strong, all of those things. But when we let go of ourselves, when we are not taking care of ourselves, and the outside appearance does reflect that. And so that's really what I'm trying to work through here. I just want to be authentic and honest with you guys. I'm not trying to clean this up so that it's palatable for somebody. I'm sure there's going to be people that don't like this message, but I'm speaking from my own experiences. So when I look at myself in the mirror and I see somebody who is grossly overweight, I know that behind that there's trauma. I know that behind that there is neglect. There's rejection. I've had tons of rejection because of the way I look, including rejection from myself. But God has never rejected me, and God is the one that has implanted his spirit inside of me. He's the one that created me and knit me together to be the person that I am. Now, I'm not saying that he created my body to be the size it is. Those are the consequences of my own actions, even if it is not taking care of myself and sleeping well. I'm not saying it's everything that you eat, but I still did do what I needed to do to be able to create a strong body, to come into alignment and honor the grace that God showed me in creating this body for me. So anyway, in a roundabout way, I'm just saying that I want to be able to break free from doing whatever I'm doing for man and do it because I want to honor God. I don't want to lose weight because I'm trying to impress somebody. I want to do it for myself, but I want to do it for God because I want to honor how much that he cared for in creating me and put me together and knit me together and put his image in me, gave me the mind of Christ, and made me somebody that could sit in heavenly places right beside him as royalty. It's when you get connected with that identity is when you will start to care for yourself in the way that God intended for us to do. But it's not in a shaming or a guilt. Honestly, it's not putting yourself out there on social media, being grossly overweight, dancing, and expecting people to just accept you for that. There are always going to be people that are going to criticize and shame that. And I don't really believe that the person doing that is okay with that. I just don't. So if they are, I don't know. I've never met somebody that is okay with that. It's the same thing with somebody that's very thin and trying to do all these beauty secrets. Deep down, they don't really care for themselves. They're trying to make the outside appearance reflect something that is different than what their heart is. They're covering up what's really going on. This is just my opinion because I'm 56 years old and I've walked through life and I've been on both sides. I've been thin, I've been heavy. I'm heavy right now. So I'm just coming from it from my experience. And this is really just to help anybody out there that is struggling with their self-image to know that God cares deeply about that. He is there walking that with you. You don't have to figure that out on your own, and you don't need to do it for man. You don't need to dress up for man. And I don't mean man like male, female. I'm saying people. You don't need to dress yourself up. If you want to do that for yourself because it makes you feel good, then do that. But don't do it because you want the approval of man. Do it because God has created you to be a masterpiece, and let that reflect whatever that is inside of you. Let your inside be what's reflected on the outside. And that's what will attract the right person to you. I know that this went very long. This was something that was really heavy on my heart this morning, and I just hope that it landed okay. I'm just trying to be as authentic as I can and help anybody out there that really is struggling with their self-image and their identity, their weight, whatever that is. It's very, very common in the special needs mom world. I just want you to know that the creator of the universe loves you. I love you. And I just can't wait for us to be back together again. Have an awesome day.